everyone, this is Mr. McKeever here. We're going to talk about how to do your research paper note cards today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and hopefully this is a useful tool for you guys when you actually get around to doing your note cards. Alright, we're going to begin by going through what we talked about in class the other day. Basic guidelines for your research paper note cards. First, you're only doing 25 note cards. This is an improvement. It used to be 30, so we're cutting it down to 25. Hopefully this makes it a little bit more manageable for you guys when you're doing your note cards. That being said, we still do have a rule that I have and we talked about in class. For each source that you have, you need to have a minimum of 3 note cards for that source. If you can't come up with 3 useful pieces of information from a source, it's a pretty awful source. You should probably find a new one because it's not helping you at all in the long run. Also, you need to organize your note cards into piles. 2 different aspects of what you can do for your piles. You can talk about background information, so this is the pertinent things that we need to know about your topic before we get your thesis point into it, such as if you were doing the Iran-Contra affair. What is the Iran-Contra affair? Because many people don't know what that is. You should probably tell us what that is. And then you're going to bring up each thesis point, and each thesis point is going to have its own pile. So if you have 2 thesis points, 2 piles. If you have 3 thesis points, 3 piles, 4, etc. You shouldn't have more than 4. I probably didn't improve that thesis. For your note cards, they can be either paraphrases of information or a direct quotation. We'll talk about that later on, but do remember that there is a limit of direct quotes that you can have on your final draft of your paper. So be willing to paraphrase information. And also, for each note card, you need to answer 3 questions. What is it? How is this important? How are you going to use it to prove your thesis? So these 3 things are going to be included in every note card, 3 simple questions that each can probably be responded within a sentence or 2 for each one. Alright, so let's go back to Noodle Tools. In this beautiful page, gotta love it. Alright, so if you're going to your beautiful project that you have right here, look at this beautiful Industrial Revolution. It's gorgeous. I love it. Makes me happy. Alright, there's 2 different routes of what you can do to create your note cards. You can either go down here to Note Cards and Outline, or you can go up to here to Note Cards over here. We're going to use the top because it's bigger and bolder. And you notice here I already have some preset note cards. I even have a pile created ahead of time for us to choose from. Well, let's walk through how you create a note card first. First, you go over here to the new note card, but you're good enough. You already figured that out ahead of time. You're going to title it as whatever actually applies to your title. We'll call this the greatest note card ever. You're going to tie it to a source. We'll tie it to the Industrial Revolution here. You can tag it if you would like. This might help you later on in organizing everything, but you don't need to right now. And also, you're going to make sure you include it into a pile. So we do have a pile created. We will make sure that this goes in that as well. In this scenario, we have 2 different routes we can choose. You can directly quote from your source whatever the author says. If you do, put in quotation marks, type out what it is, put your quotation marks, and look at that. You've done a fantastic job. Or you paraphrase it. You take their words and you put them in your words because you don't want to plagiarize from people because that's just not cool. Once you have done this, you're going to scroll down to My Ideas. And down here in the My Ideas is where you're going to answer your 3 questions. What is it? How are you going to use it? And how is this going to prove your thesis? You could answer this as 1 paragraph. You could answer this as 3 different paragraphs. You could answer this as 1 extraordinarily run-on sentence. But I don't appreciate run-on sentences, so please don't do that. Once you have done that, you're going to go ahead and save your note card. But since I'm not finishing this, I'm not going to save it. And you're going to see it pop up down here. When you do this, you need to make sure that everything is in the piles that you have so that you can see this entire pile of different note cards. So I'm going to say over here, I click on this beautiful working conditions one. It is a paraphrase. Look at this beautiful information I have in this paraphrase. I could talk to you days about the changes made to the lifestyle of people by moving to the cities, which made life dramatically harder for those who stayed in the countryside. Woohoo! And then down here in my Ideas, again, not a long response, but a response that does answer the questions that we needed. Down here, you close out of it, you save it, hopefully saving all of these. And what this will do is we'll create an outline that you could use to further do your outline later on. So that I will be able to go to your bibliography, and I will look at all the beautiful sources that you have, and I can notice that there's note cards for each one. Look down here, I can see this wonderful note cards that I can see show, and I can read each note card that comes out of each source. And this allows me to see that the sources are actually giving you something that you can use. It also tells me the information that's there, and then ideally you will actually have URLs if you need them, or bibliographic information as needed. when you are doing this project and you're doing your note cards, make sure that you actually take the time to do them. So we're going to go back to our note cards here. A note card that gives you a lot of good information is going to help you later on. If I make this really simple, we're going to change this quote down here to "This quote helps me write my paper." I hit save. I'm not going to. How does this actually help me in the long run? You don't know where you're putting this again. You don't know how you're going to use it. If you take the time for your note cards now, your outline becomes really easy because actually Noodle Tools will help create your outline for you. Right over here. But you've got to give it the information to do so. So let's recap on this really simply. You have 25 note cards, a minimum of 3 per source. You have background information and thesis points will be the piles that you organize them into. If you don't organize them in the piles, that won't turn out well. I don't like it. It ain't pretty. Don't do it. If you do organize them into piles and you put like 37 piles, I'm probably going to start crying. No one wants to see me cry. It's not pretty. Your note cards can either be paraphrases or quotes. The majority of them probably should be paraphrases and not direct quotes. And for each note card, you need to answer each of these questions. What is it? How is this important? And how are you going to use it to prove your thesis? That's it. These note cards shouldn't take you till the end of time. They should actually be something that should move relatively quickly as long as you've moved on and started researching. If you have used sources that are not annotated from your annotated bibliography, that's wonderful. You are fantastic and you should appreciate how awesome you are. Not all of you are going to have found every single source that you want to use in your annotated bibliography. You've added stuff. That means you've done more research. That means you're fantastic. You don't have to annotate them again. Just put them down there as sources and then add different note cards applying to them. If you have any questions, let me know. Hopefully this will provide you an opportunity to work on this without waiting till the last second to do so. But if you do run out of time and you do still have questions, let me know and I'll help you to the best I can. Have a wonderful day. Peace out, folks.